Hello, Co. Really? Come on, man. You're just like a group of people on. What are you doing, man? Zeke's muted. Like this whole thing's it's just a.
I will be of service. Will the high table hear me out?
You done?
I am. Yes, I am, Your Excellency.
Oh my God, dude. I don't know what you did to my camera.
You're back.
Jesus.
Hello and welcome to Drop Frames. We're joined by Zeke and Counselor CohhCarnage.
Cool. I love it, dude.
It's been a fun week for over there.
And man, are you just making it so much better?
Just, we're lifting them up, chat. This is what friends do to friends, We just lift them up.
Cool.
Well, okay, Cohh, to be fair, though, if it was me, which it would never be, I'd be a terrible choice. But if it was me, would you not do the same thing? I would expect it.
Well, I most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real.
Yes. Yeah. Do we refer? Is it Counselor CohhCarnage? Do you keep your same name? What are the rules here? We need
President's fine.
President. Okay. All right. So. Are there 7 other presidents or?
Oh no. Just
okay. All right. Okay. Well, President CohhCarnage. What episode are we on?
41.
41.
You know what? No. 69.
Okay. I mean, you make the rules here.
Nice.
So.
I do.
Nice.
So we're going nice. Yeah. Okay. Enough of that. No, in all reality, it's the jokes have been hard and heavy over the last few weeks, but
sure.
there's just zero as the updated thing came out from Emmett recently. There is zero power to be had on this council. It's nothing. Like it's an advisory position at best, and even then, like we don't even decide what gets enacted on. I mean, it's really so little to nothing.
I mean, I think even before I agree with that. I think before that we can kind of introduce what the council even is, because it kind of I think caught a lot of people by surprise when this hit for a lot of different reasons.
And we didn't even know that you were going to be a part of it.
Yeah, we didn't know.
I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't know either. I didn't even know it was a thing.
I was invited a while back. And when they first asked if I would like to have a meeting about this stuff, and I said sure, absolutely. And they brought me to the meeting, and they said, like if we were to bring you into this, what would you want to do on it? And I told them basically exactly what I've been super public about. That I think that the Twitch moderation for the past few years has been rather of a joke. I think it's garnered a terrible reputation. I think that the fact that that people continually see like nepotistic practices and different people getting hit for different things, and the same thing happening to multiple people and getting different bans or no bans at all. Like it's become a pretty terrible from in a PR public perspective. And that as a Twitch streamer goes back to me, because that means the platform that I've chosen to make my home, is basically a big joke when it comes to this stuff in a lot of ways. So I told them straight up, the 3 things that I want to see and the 3 things that I would bring to the council are a huge promotion in consistency, fairness, and transparency. And that is what I was going to voice. That is what I was going to push. I don't necessarily think at all that Twitch needs more rules or to be more heavy-handed. I just think that they've got a pretty decent TOS. Could use some work, don't get me wrong.
Well, he spoke too much. He's out. You're back.
Damn it. We were trying to fix that today, and I guess it didn't work. But the big thing is those 3 words. That's the only reason I joined the council. It's the only thing I wanted to do. I want to make Twitch a better experience, not only for all the viewers watching their favorite streamers, but also for the partners and the affiliates. A very clear and concise TOS so that people know exactly what they can and can't do. If they do something wrong, they're told exactly what they did wrong. Everybody that does that exact thing gets the same punishment. The littlest amount of gray areas possible. This is our job. This is our lives for many of us. So it's incredibly important that this stuff is done properly and with a lot of care. Twitch is a multi-million-dollar company, and this is one of the areas they really should be devoting resources. And that's where we are. Okay, I'm gonna let my guy know that the fix didn't work at all.
Well, you didn't freeze there at the end. Video first, but audio did not, so that's good. Yeah. I think my thoughts on the whole thing is, and I'm curious on your thoughts about this. Twitch should have just said, there is a council that exists. They're going to help with this. We're not going to mention who's on it. And then that's it. And maybe it doesn't even need a post at that point. Like, I feel like the announcement and including the names was literally just to try to save face publicly and like somewhat redirect the information loophole away from Twitch and like to those 8 people, whether that was intended or not, but that's definitely what happened.
That's part of the whole transparency thing, don't you think, JP? Like saying who's on the council, who represents like different groups of people or different professions, like the medical profession, stuff like that, or the people who have experience with anti-bullying, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I see for transparency's sake. I'm and this is what I said. I mean, whenever this hit Thursday, is that when all this? Is that when it? I think Thursday or Friday. I mean, that was the message I shared in our Slack channel. Was like, I'm more worried about like the council being targeted for bullshit that Twitch does, and that was my first issue with it being public. Is like, I know what happens when Twitch staffs get targeted, and I don't want people on that thing to get targeted. And so that's why I don't think it should have ever been public. But I do see the other side of the coin in terms of like transparency and who's on it, because people want to see like, who's making the decisions or who's helping.
I mean,
I wanted to ask you, like, how much of this? I mean, does it feel like you're like a straw man, like, to shift like the face, and then you get like the council gets the flack? Does it feel like that or not?
Not really right now, but specifically because, again, Twitch has a major problem with this stuff. When they approached me with the council, I saw this as, okay, this is a possible avenue to making this better. I was happy to give my opinion on it and do it. And I didn't care if they made my name public because, again, at the time, my thought was this was going to be a council of professional, people that understood how to present themselves, that understood what we were getting into, that understood the importance of something like this if it actually worked, and that we were going to be working together towards something greater. That's what I thought I was joining. In terms of the transparency and everything, I totally agree with Zeke. I think that, since this is something that could have affected Twitch as a whole, that the more transparent they are about it, the better. I'm again totally okay with that. They did check with me before they went public, so I'm assuming everyone was like that. But again, it's the kind of thing where we are now is not a place that I ever would have envisioned this being. It's essentially, and it's and I've been very public about this fact. It has been mired by unprofessionalism and dramatic actions that should have never seen the light of day. It has been basically sunk in terms of what can come out of it due to that, and that is so extremely unfortunate. It could have been such an incredibly positive thing if not only it existed, but more importantly, positive outcomes. Damn it, there it goes again. Okay,
we heard positive outcomes. It looks to
be a little bit better.
Yeah, it's better for sure.
But the big thing is, and this is again, like I've said this many times. People keep saying like, "Congrats on being on the council," and one of the first things I say is, "Do not congratulate. There's nothing yet to be congratulated about. Congratulations can only come if something actually happens from this council." And I think that's a concern that many people have, because just like people have been pointing out on the internet correctly, this is not the first time Twitch has stood up and been like, "We're going to make things better. Hold us accountable," and then nothing happened. Right. We have been burned on that multiple times. So, do I like the idea of the council? I absolutely do. Do I think it will be beneficial? I have no idea yet, and there really is nothing to show for it yet. So it's and again, the worst part is that at this point, even if good things come from it, it's going to be tainted, and that just makes me so disappointed and sad about the whole situation.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
A good, I think, summary of it all for sure that I agree with.
Well, and I
And
think
for the
it bears
record,
repeating-
everything I just said, I've already said before. Like, none of this is new information. And
yeah.
outside of what I've just said, I'm kind of like, you know, yeah, I'm trying to be as diplomatic and respectful as I can towards all parties involved in this.
Well,
and it's been a ride.
I'll say this: you'd be a great politician. So.
And then I remember that I have thousands and thousands of hours of recorded footage of me acting like a clown.
Well,
So,
maybe not.
there goes-
Okay, that might, yeah. If
there
they
goes
do some
that idea.
background footage or some background info, they might not. Yeah. Zeke, what were you gonna say or ask?
Well, I was going to say, I think it bears repeating that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the council is a council of advisors.
100%.
They are not like,
They're
not a tribunal. They can't enact.
It's not
we
survival.
don't even
sort
we
of
don't even
thing.
cover personal issues. Like there is no specific like this caster did this. What does the council dictate? Like it's nothing like that. It's basically like Twitch wanted to come to an established streamers. And I think it was the attempt was good at bringing in different types of streamers. There's also people on the council that aren't streamer related, which I have my opinions on that, but it's always good to have, voices that are from outside. And then the point was Twitch was basically going to say, here's the issue. How do you guys think we can make it better? Okay, thanks for feedback. Here's another issue. How do you guys think we can make it better? Okay, thanks for the feedback. That was the impression I got with it, where it was just going to be like us suggesting to them, how can we make this process better? And that's where I wanted to stand up and be like, transparency, fairness, consistency. And every time I could hammer that into them, that's the plan. That's why I'm still on the council, even with all this bullshit going on, even though I feel that it's tainted. And I really, at this point, I'll be surprised if things that are positive come from it in the current state that it's in. I think it can be saved, but I think that big changes would have to be made, that being said. But even, the reason a lot of people have asked me, like, with all the drama, all the bullshit, why haven't you left the council already? And I try to tell them, although I don't endorse anything that's been going on the last few days. In fact, some of it is abhorrent to me and disgusting. I feel that if there's anything that's going to come from this council, I want to at least try to guide it in the right direction as much as I possibly can.
Yeah. You want to be there to change it from the inside, right? Is that what you're saying?
Basically,
or
if
drive
there's
it at
going
least,
to be
like
change, I want to make sure it goes in a good direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Well, I don't really have. I think we've given Livestream Fails enough clips for the day, so they've got their content from Cohh. So I think we're good.
There's a lot of people asking what I'm referring to when I say all the things that have been going on, and specifically, I'm referring to. I'm not going to get into it, and this is not something I publicly comment on. But there's been a lot of public issues concerning some of the council members and how they've been portraying their position and things that they've said, and unfortunately, it's eroded a lot of public trust and faith. And that I'm going to leave it at that and let people look into it themselves if they're more interested.
Sure. Yeah. Makes sense. All right. Let's move on. Unless you guys, Zeke, any other comments on it?
Yeah, I want to ask JP, if somehow you were able, like someone was able to force you, like blackmail you,
like I was on it no matter
like,
what, because
gun
I would
to your
never,
head,
I would never agree to it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What would you do? What would be your first like statement to the like your mission statement for the council?
My mission statement? Oh God.
And you're forced, like this is like hypothetical as fuck, but like you're forced to take this shit seriously. So what would you do as part of the council?
I think I would say something along the lines that like none of this actually matters and we have zero power, so treat it as such and then go from there. Like I would remind the other people on the council that like this is absolutely meaningless for now. It might become something useful, but for now it means absolutely nothing. So treat it as such until it becomes something.
And most importantly, fundamentally understand your position.
Yeah.
And how important it is to be professional, to not step over bounds, that you will have tens of thousands of eyes on you, and that it's so important to represent this properly.
Yeah.
Because it's already such a tumultuous thing. So it's like
I'd gather up the council and be like, all right, listen, this is a good opportunity for publicity for us. Just fucking behave yourselves and don't make anyone else on the council look bad. We'll all come out of this with a little bit more, a few more followers, maybe some more, eyes on us and shit like that. So if we do this right, only good stuff will come out of it.
Yeah.
Just keep your mouth shut and be good. Be good.
It's true. It's true. Another way to handle it for sure. Yeah. I'm definitely curious to see what happens in the next months, weeks, weeks then months, with all that, and see kind of what actually comes from it. And that's kind of like even that was also my first initial reaction is like, okay, what does this actually mean? Because I feel like the statement that Twitch put out was like, which I think now is an afterthought because of all that's happened, which is a little bit of a shame. But the statement that Twitch put out in terms of their press release was just kind of like a little ambiguous and a little like, well, what does this actually mean? There is a lot of like tenets of the council, which when it comes to like work-life balance and like Ziz streams 40 hours in a stream and co-streamed for 2,000 hours straight before he learned like work balance or before he enacted, I think, days. Work balance, 2,000 days. Yeah. And so that's where it's just like, that's a little weird, but I get it. I understand. And it's a shame that like that is now not even talked about, right? Like that's not even considered for conversation on the whole.
And see, those would have been very interesting discussions to have. Like there's so much good dialogue and good discussion and stuff that could have, actively moved things forward that could have come from this. And again, it's just tainted and stifled.
Yeah.
With all of this other stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what if any changes at all occur, or if anything happens, and blah 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 blah. So we'll go from there.
I'm sure we'll be talking about this more as the weeks and months go on, for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure, for sure.
Well, just real quick, the Safety Advisory Council will inform and guide decisions made at Twitch. Inform and guide. Just remember that. Decisions made at Twitch. They'll inform and guide it. They won't make the decisions by contributing their experience, expertise, and belief in Twitch's mission of empowering communities to create together. The council will advise on a number of topics, including draft new policies and new policy updates, developing products and features, improve safety and moderation, promoting healthy streaming and work-life balance habits, protecting the interests of marginalized groups, identifying emerging trends that can impact the Twitch experience. All good things. But also it's saying they're advising. They're not like enforcing or enacting.
Which is one of the reasons that it became so much more there became so much more dissonance when people were acting like that wasn't the case. That's what started breeding this discontent and this lack of trust, because you had Twitch saying one thing, other people saying other things, and it's like, what's going on? So like again, it all kind of goes back to single points, where it's like if the council would have come out with a unified voice on this, and then it could have been a completely different situation. So yeah.
Zeke, did you play a game called Egg is Broken, Heart is Too? Is that why that's there? I'm just staring at that and just wondering, what the fuck is that?
Remember the chicken game with the egg that he bounced around on the
egg on the back?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the Mother's Day game.
My first thought was like, wait a minute, why is Barry posting Egg is Broken, Heart is... And then I thought, wait, Barry can't do that. Only I
JP,
can.
you have to read between the lines. You see, JP, Barry's making a commentary on the current situation.
Yeah.
Confucius.
Pretty deep, Barry. It's pretty deep,
Twitch,
man.
Twitch is the egg. And it's broken.
And it's broken. I get it.
And us as the viewers and streamers, our heart is broken too.
I understand.
Twitch, we wanted to eat the egg of. Wait, hold on. I'm getting confused.
Now do you like it scrambled or over easy? How do we feel about it? Yeah.
Scramble, man.
Yeah.
I don't like my yolk to be runny.
Yeah, scrambled all the way. Scrambled 100%.
Wait, what?
We're now talking about how we like our eggs. No.
Okay.
We just like, that's how we eat our
Oh,
eggs.
I thought you were talking about how you like your heart. I like my heart scrambled.
Okay. You like, okay. No, I was
I don't
like
like
runny
no
heart?
easy.
Wait,
runny hearts are the greatest. Everyone knows that. You got to have a little blood in there before you eat it. You know, just for extra taste.
Halima?
Yeah. Yeah, a little
Halima.
extra iron.
You know,
Never hurt anyone.
Just, you know.
Halima.
Exactly. Why do you have a random stuff? That might be the most weird thing about.
What? That I have a plush heart. I have a
Yeah.
fucking stuffed toy heart. It's for raids, honestly.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's so I can like be like, like fucking pull out the heart of the raider.
Gotcha. Noted.
So wish me happy birthday, you fucks.
Happy birthday, dude.
Thank you.
You look fantastic for 31.
I don't know.
Say it.
We might skip this year. Maybe next
Say
year.
it.
Maybe.
You rotten bastard. You never said it. I feel like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day when he saves that kid. He's like, you've never thanked me. You've never said happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday, Zeke. I can't believe
Thank
you're
you.
50 and still kicking. You know, the big 5-0.
I know, man.
It's crazy.
Big 5-0. Half a century, dude.
It's great.
It's been crazy. The 70s were the best, though. I'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Let's move on to another ridiculous thing.
It's really shitty. Just a side note, it's really shitty to be born in 1980 because every time I say 1980, they're like, AD, like Anno Domini, like Year of Our Lord.
Oh,
man,
that's
you're
clever.
fucking old.
That's pretty. I like that. I'm going to have to steal that.
Yeah.
But it's also easy to see how old you are quickly. That you're born on an even year, you know? Easy math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's, it's two-sided. There's good and bad.
For all you math freaks out there, I was born 5/20/80. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 times 4 is 80. Boom!
Boom.
Blew your mind.
Boom. Amazing.
Are you Jesus?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
That's a different council that Zeke's on.
But I'm Jesus 2.0. Like, I ain't putting up with no shit.
Whoa.
Like,
I
Judas.
feel like there's a movie there.
Probably.
Yeah, there is. I'm sure there is. I would love to see it.
That's the sequel to The Passion of Christ, the anger of Christ. That's it. It's the starring it. Yeah.
The malcontent of Christ.
The malcontent of Christ. Yeah. Zeke starring in it. It's
Harry,
gonna be great.
You're not Jesus. You're Alan Moore. There's a difference.
Oh my God, I can't unsee that. Oh my God. Barry is Alan Moore.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
Wow.
A little bit.
Wow. Okay. I'm not going to be able to.
I'm gonna have to look up if I can find some of my old like party videos from when I was like between the ages of like 20 and 25.
Yeah.
There were two things that people would ask me, like, "Oh, is he coming?" Is he coming to the party? Is he gonna be Jesus? Because I would have long hair and a beard and stuff. I would come in like robes and stuff and bless everybody and just get fucking hammered. And I think I told Kevin Smith this because I don't know if you know, I interviewed him a little while ago.
Right.
Friend of mine.
Right, yeah.
But I used to come to parties as Silent Bob. Like I would have a big old trench coat on, backwards hat, and I just stand there and everybody would be like, all the stoners would be like, he's not saying anything. Are you doing silent? What the fuck is going on, man? You're fucking tripping me out.
Jesus. You should post
Anyway.
photos of that. That'd be good.
Enough
Good
about
cosplay.
me. No one cares.
Did you guys see the Samsung thing yesterday?
Yeah, I saw it go down in 30 minutes because I didn't think that one out.
Yeah, I don't. So before we jump into it, yesterday, I don't know why this popped up. Samsung is like running a new thing called Tap Into the New, or was running a new thing called Tap Into the New, and they had a section for gaming that says, keep gaming your way with offers that bring new worlds and exciting new challenges right to your doorstep. And then it said all codes, or rather, this has changed. This is the new text. Basically, if you signed up for a Samsung.com account, you were given 1,000 bits to just do whatever you wanted. So a couple streamers went live yesterday and just got thousands of bits cheered to them just for going live. And then my understanding is that it got botted very quickly, and Samsung realized, oh God, or Twitch realized, whoever was giving the bits. I don't know how that transaction worked. They just freaked out. They were just like, oh God, this is way too many.
So basically, you could just sign up with multiple different email addresses. I heard accounts. I don't know of any specific people.
Ooh.
Wow. Anyway, yeah, some streamers getting like hundreds of thousands. You know what? Okay.
Just message the guy.
I don't even. I'm just done. I'm just gonna smile and nod today. I think I'm done.
Okay. All right. Yeah. What Cohh was trying to say is some streamers got like thousands of cheers yesterday because they were just spam accounts being signed up for this stuff, and that's why they deactivated it.
I feel like I missed out on this. Like I missed out on the first like Amazon Prime like announcement when it was like, you can get a free sub with Prime, and we weren't there to like reap the benefits because we were at TwitchCon.
Yeah.
Or whoever was there.
Yeah.
And I was just I feel like I missed out there, and I feel like I missed out on this. Like, man, I could have made like some good money just like having people go to that shit.
It got removed pretty quickly, from my understanding.
I wonder if Twitch can do anything about that. Like, do they know where the bits come from, or they just go in a pool? Like, can they see like, you got these 1,000 bits from blah, blah, blah. We're not going to give it to you on your next paycheck. I don't think they.
I don't think they're going to go back on it though. Yeah.
No, they can't.
Yeah.
But that's like how much do you think they made off, or they got taken for?
I mean, I saw.
Is there a number out?
I saw a couple reports. People in chat are saying there's a couple streamers that got like $40,000 yesterday in bits. So like it was a real big deal for about 30 minutes.
On some channels they were just setting up like conveyor belts. They just make a new account, do the 1K, make a new account, do the 1K. So like you would just see like 1Ks, 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 1Ks. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was definitely, I mean, I think you can go and look on most of those channels. They probably have leaderboards for bits, and you can see like how much exactly they got given when all that was going on.
Especially if there's any website that tracks like bits per day.
Yeah.
And sort by that, you immediately see who took advantage of that. Yeah.
Which is pretty funny.
Anyone give it? I know this is kind of a pipe dream, but anyone give it to charity?
I doubt that.
I would have done that if I was bilking the system and like taking advantage of it. Seems like,
well, it wasn't the streamers doing it; it was their audiences.
No, I know.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to make sure that people
the spearhead, the tip
Although
of the spear is the streamer.
Yeah.
It would be interesting, and I haven't before I say this, I haven't heard about this from anywhere.
As a council member, you got to be careful now, Cohh.
Oh, yeah, or whatever. That trust me, that's not stopping anything. But yeah, so it would be kind of funny if like a clip came out down the road of some streamer being like, "Okay, go to this website, use different addresses, come back to my channel."
Yeah.
Like that would be pretty hilarious. I haven't seen anything like that though, so I'd imagine if a streamer was doing that, we would have heard about it pretty.
Yeah, maybe so. I'm not sure. But that was a whole shit show that happened. It's now been taken down. They said all codes for 1,000 bit have been distributed. Please check out our additional offers. And then when you click that, there's nothing. So, yeah, that was a weird thing. I wonder how that came to fruition. And I wonder how those people didn't consider the fact that would be immediately abused.
Well, I can tell you why.
Why's that?
Because Twitch used to be like staffed and governed by people who were tapped into the community and stuff. They would know like, oh shit. Like if it was back like 5 years ago, the people that were working at Twitch would be like, this is a terrible idea. People are going to take advantage of it immediately and it's going to get fucking crazy. But now it's like, I mean, now listen, this is just speculation, obviously.
Yeah,
but
that's
like,
a little.
Now it's like a corporate. It's like we shook hands with Samsung. This is gonna be great.
To be fair, though, I think this is more on Samsung than anything else. Because if they would have done like proper IP protection, one account per area, like there's a lot of things Samsung could have done to make a promotion like this actually work and not be spammable from 30 times from one computer. So I don't know. Also, like what's weird is, again, on Samsung's thing, like shouldn't like buying a TV have come with a voucher or something? Like I don't understand just signing up getting free, but like that's just inherently a weird premise. I mean, yeah, it's going to get you a lot of people on your forum, but you're paying $10 essentially per person on your forum. You're just buying forum registrations, and most people, it's not like they're going to be like, "Oh wow, what a cool forum! I'm going to keep using this." You know, it's kind of like the whole thing just seems kind of weirdly flawed from the start. Yeah, I don't know.
It reminds me of I can't remember what movie or whatever it was, but someone found an oversight in pudding cup, like a pudding cup promotions, like you can spend $5 and get $10 worth of airline miles. So he has like this I think it was Punch Drunk Love. He has like this mountain of pudding cups because like the return of it is way higher than what he spent to get it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just an oversight. Yeah.
Well, and
it's like, oh, hey, this will be a great promotion thing. It's like, do you know how many people watch Twitch and how many of them are very savvy on how to take advantage of shit?
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are bringing up a good point in chat that like the $10 is basically them buying data, like they were purchasing data essentially. But in that regard, the spoofing of it, you think they would have put a lot more protections in because that's a lot of useless data. But yeah, that is a good point. That's probably exactly what they were doing. They were just like, they were in their mind, they were saying the $10 to Twitch is worth the 5 people that'll buy TVs when we send out a deal in a week in a mass email or something.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Man. Marketing, dude. Marketing.
Yep. So that all happened. Is there any other I guess we can just jump into general gaming news. There's been a lot of weird I don't know if you guys have noticed this or you guys are feeling this at all. I feel like there's this weird buzz right now in the gaming world about news and about new consoles and something big's about to drop, but no one's talking about it. Are you seeing this on Twitter at all? Or am I just reading into things and trying to am I looking for hype? Am I trying to mine for hype right now on Twitter? Cause I've seen so many things about PS4 and June 4th, and that's a thing that's supposed to happen where they're going to reveal everything and all this weird allusions to stuff that actually is not coming out and just saying it right out the bat.
I haven't really seen a growth in hype. I think a lot of people, the summer's Game Fest stuff and the lack of E3 and everyone kind of starting to understand that companies are going to do their own thing, I think have added a little, just the tiniest bit more excitement since nobody really knows when things are coming. And nobody even knows what's coming, so it just makes it a little bit more interesting. But that being said, I don't really see any more hype.
Okay,
I certainly know I'm not feeling any more hype. I mean, if anything, I'm just trying to make sure I get the info when it comes in. I'm certainly not expecting more than a normal E3 would have done. Just more spread out, and you kind of have to look for it a little bit more now.
Sure. Yeah, it might just be that Twitter has this great algorithm that now when I browse through my feed, I get random PlayStation fanboy comments that just blow up with thousands and thousands of favorites where they're just shitting on Xbox for some reason with all the recent announcements. So maybe that's why I feel that. Maybe I'm starting to become a member of the PlayStation fanboy club. Maybe I'm joining that council. Councils are all the rage right now. Maybe that's where I'm headed. I don't know.
So I've heard.
Yeah. It's a little bit ridiculous. I would say don't favorite any PS or PlayStation positive tweets. You'll get on that whole algorithm and it's bad. It's bad news. Right now the rumor is June 4th is going to be the big announcement for PlayStation 5 stuff, but Sony hasn't come out and said that yet. So I guess we'll see how that goes. What were we going to say, Cohh?
As somebody brought up the good point in my chat, probably a lot of people are also just looking for something to be excited about during all this isolation stuff.
That's probably very true.
That certainly could be feeding into it.
Yeah, I would think. I think that's probably the most level-headed take on that stuff. In terms of actual news, what else we got out there? The Unreal Engine changed its I'm not even sure. The barrier basically to use the Unreal Engine is now indies owe Epic nothing until the game earns $1 million, which I think is a pretty significant and awesome change and a great way to get people to use Unreal Engine in terms of
the royalties for UE5.
Yeah, in terms of the indie world. I think before that it was 3,000 a month or 3,000 a quarter. I forget the exacts of it, but definitely a lot more now before you have to it's $50K a quarter Okay, chat's correcting me. $50K a quarter, and now it's $1 million just across the board. So that's really
Basically, you
really
gotta
cool
make
news.
it if you're gonna.
Yeah, exactly. Really, really good news coming out of Epic with that. That actually, I think, hit yet last week during that Keeley thing that they did for the Epic, for the Unreal Engine 5 stuff. What
You know
else?
where you can find like any information on that?
I can send you a
I just
link.
did like a basic Google search, but
They updated their FAQ for it. They didn't really like talk about it too much
oh, okay.
during the UE5 stuff. I just saw a Twitter thread for it talking
Okay.
about that kind of blew up. CD Projekt has surpassed Ubisoft to become Europe's most valuable video game company, which is kind of crazy if you think about that and you consider like how many games Ubisoft puts out to how many games CD Projekt Red puts out. That's kind
And the
of
fact
crazy.
that Ubisoft like farms their IPs for money. Like
Yeah.
they really do. Like they are trying their damnedest to make money off of their games.
Totally.
Which is very wild.
Yeah. So that's pretty nuts to see that. I saw this random stat about Minecraft. None of us really play Minecraft, but every time I see a stat in terms of sales and all that stuff, it's just kind of crazy. Minecraft tops 200 million units sold, and 126 million still play monthly, which for all this talk about like Fortnite blowing up and all this shit, like Minecraft is still fucking massive. Like it's still stupidly huge. Those numbers are,
and there's been
absurd.
so many attempts to try to like topple it or even copy it, and it's like just none of them ever. It's like World of Warcraft, man, except it's its own microcosm, like genre thing, just by itself as a game. It's really wild.
Yeah, it is. That number is just absurd to me. Some other news about units sold. Dark Souls series now sold over 27 million units as like a franchise. So it's good. Hope we see more. Obviously, we'll probably see more from software. Hey, did you guys watch that Ghost of let's say it correctly, Tsushima? Is that right? I think that's right. Did you guys watch
Ghost of Tsushima?
Yes. I'm gonna stop saying sashimi.
I didn't watch it. What is it something that we can watch together or not?
It's 18 minutes long. It's a little bit long.
18 minutes? Okay, never mind.
Yeah. We can definitely take a look at some of the footage here though. It is not what I was expecting. However, I'm very much on board. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I got a lot of, and I didn't do any of the deep dive information wise. I only took the video kind of at face value. So I don't know if you did, Cohh, but I got a little bit of Assassin's Creed vibe from this in some of the gameplay, and then in some of the other gameplay, I wasn't quite sure how it worked mechanically. Specifically the samurai stuff with the parrying. Like, I don't know what he was actually pushing to make things happen on the screen, and I'm a little bit concerned that it needs that, or I'm sure it happens in tutorial land and they didn't want to clutter the gameplay reveal with that, but definitely something where I'm just like, how did that actually work? But I'm interested in playing it for sure. It looks great, I think. But
I agree. It looks the open world looked beautiful. I mean, the little side areas looked pretty fun. I loved the shadow play when it the samurai stuff looked fun, and that shadow stuff reminded me of an old game series I loved called Tenchu. And Tenchu Stealth Assassins, and I really liked all the different tools that it looked like they had. When it popped open the item system, it looked like there'd be a lot to work towards and get out in the world, which is also really cool. Yeah, I mean, for someone like me, I think this game awesome. Looks like a lot of fun. Even looks like it may be the kind of game that it's going to offer multiple playthroughs depending on your style, which is also really interesting. Yeah, this part right here is what you were talking about, and I agree. It's like, what exactly is he doing? It almost looks Sekiro-esque sometimes with like the parry stuff. But I will say that and this is an opinion that was not popular in my chat before I say it, but there were definitely times when he was riding around that I thought to myself, I wonder if the general population is going to find this kind of empty.
He said empty before he got cut out. I think that's a good point.
it right now. And don't get me wrong, I think it's going to be received well. It'll probably sell well too. But there were just times when I felt like it seemed like there were long stretches when there was really not much going on, and it makes me wonder if like the gaming population as a whole will be accepting of that with all the other cool stuff that seems to be in the game. Again, for people like me, that's fine. Like, and honestly, Witcher 3 suffers from some of the exact same stuff, and it was huge and a hit. But it did make me wonder, like, especially in today's day and age, I wonder if there's going to be people that see that as a negative. I don't know. That's just food for thought thing. I think the game's going to be fine. It looks awesome. I'm going to love it. But
it definitely looks like they saw Breath of the Wild and were like, we're going to kind of lean this direction in terms of our world. And then also
I think Witcher 3, man.
Well, it's a mix of both. I think it's a definite mix of both. With like the collecting and all that stuff, it's definitely more Witcher 3. But in terms of just the actual world, there's definitely some Breath of Wild sprinkled in there. And on that regard, I think people will be interested in it just because people are interested in Breath of the Wild. There wasn't that much. I have to be careful here to not upset the fanboys. There was a lot to do in the world, but there were times where it was just, open-ended and not that
boring
many things.
Is the word you're looking for? It was
go
boring.
With boring, maybe. I don't know. We don't need to get into that conversation, really.
Well, quick question that would make this game
Flat.
playable.
That's a good way.
Where Breath of the Wild was not.
Wow.
Is there?
I forgot you guys hated that game so bad. It's so funny.
Is there weapon durability in this?
I didn't hate it. It was just not great. Anyway,
I don't think there's
After
weapon durability.
you swing your fucking samurai sword that was made by master craftsmen, is it going to break?
I don't think so.
I hope not.
Yeah. This very much felt like early Assassin's Creed style stuff to me, like AC2 style combat in terms of how he was playing here, which is not a bad thing. It's just definitely got a lot of vibes from that here. But the other stuff, I got to see like what he's actually pushing there. If it's the other side of Assassin's Creed, the early new Assassin's Creed combat, where it's like you press a button to just counter everything and that's how you succeed, that will kind of suck. But hopefully they've adapted on that and, we get to see it. But yeah, Zeke, you're seeing this for the first time. So any more hot takes about Zelda?
Well, the thing that kind of like, I don't know, I guess I personally find it daunting, I guess. I don't know, in Assassin's Creed, when on the radar, like the compass thing at the top, like there's so many markers, so many things to do.
Sure.
It's just like, I'm one of those cats that if you give me too much shit to do, I end up not doing anything. I'm just like, that's too much. I can't do it. It doesn't look like that here. It doesn't look like there's like you're overloaded with shit to do.
I mean, there's very little UI. Like this is the game. Like this is the UI right here.
Yeah.
So
and I'm down with this. I totally love it. I like a nice streamlined UI. Very straightforward, like stuff to do. And it's beautiful. It looks fucking gorgeous.
Yeah. That I didn't realize that, but that thing right there, like the aggro I think that's been used in other games, but I feel like the second I just saw that, I immediately think of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like without a doubt.
Yeah.
That looks identical to the Assassin's Creed Odyssey UI when you start to aggro someone.
For waypoints, you follow the wind?
Yes. Yeah. Let me.
Dude, that is cool.
So that was how they started it right here. See how the wind's blowing there? Like there's no like. Basically what they said is when you look out on the world and you see all these little fires and stuff like that, or you use the wind, or like a random bird will come over to you, and if you follow the bird, it'll take you to like a important area. So that's kind of how they handled all that stuff. Because that was some of the stuff that I was concerned about when they first announced this, was there's no like waypointing system in the game.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting. I definitely want to play it. The other thing, I don't know if you saw this, Zeke, but you can play the game in Kurosawa mode.
Oh, really?
You can play it
like
in full black and white.
Shit?
Yeah, like this is the game right here. They're just playing.
Black and white, little grainy.
Yeah.
No UI.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It looks really good.
That's a great call.
Even right here, like this is gameplay, which is kind of crazy to see. That's like how big the world is. You can even see the little like film grain specks occurring.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. Yeah.
That is cool.
So yeah, that's coming out on July. That's July, right? June is Last of Us. July is this.
So have they
That's
like?
where we are right now.
Can you guys tell me about like the game progression? Meaning, is it like a Skyrim kind of game where the whole map, if you can get your horse there, you can go there, or is it like you unlock certain sections? Do we know?
They show the world.
Not that we know yet.
Yeah, I don't know if everything's accessible from the very start.
Okay.
It does look very open world though. Like
Yeah.
it makes it pretty clear that there's going to be a huge amount to explore, but there may be like outposts or gates maybe that separate parts of the world. Like I don't know if we know anything about that yet, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
As far as
Go
the
either way.
combat goes, I'm sure. I mean, you guys talked a little bit about it. Have they talked about like the difficulty of it or anything like that?
I don't know. They didn't really, from when I watched the video, they didn't really discuss like difficulty at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think back to other. Did Infamous have a difficulty option?
Thanks in my chat. I want to say his name is Nibel. He's a guy that tweets all sorts of good gaming news. Nibelian on Twitter.
Yeah.
Apparently, new Ghost of Tsushima info, and this is of May 19th, so yesterday.
Oh.
You can freely switch between Samurai and Ghost playstyles. Very challenging, in quotes.
Oh.
There are 1v1 duels. No markers. Exploration is a key focus. Biggest world SP has done yet with multiple biomes. And map in SOP just a small portion of start area.
State of play. Okay, so map and wow. Okay. All right. Well, that's
this guy and the guy that tweeted this he knows. Yeah. Oh, and here's some more info. No morality system. Main weapon is a katana, but there are others and gadgets. Visually inspired by Zelda and SOTC. A good call on that. Killing animals equals no rewards. And music composed by Shigeru Umebayashi.
All right. That's all positive stuff for me.
I probably butchered his name, and in case you ever heard that, I apologize. I meant no disrespect.
I was actually going to commend you.
Great council move. Yeah, it
was pretty good. Honestly, like now we
it.
just got to get you saying Yakuza rather than Yakuza.
Oh, I'm already saying Yakuza. We're there, Zeke. We're
Yakuza.
there. Oh, I am. I finished Yakuza 3, dudes. I'm over halfway through. So yeah, man, we're doing it.
Oh yeah, that was the game that came out. I forgot. Or that you played. Sorry. My brain has just been Terraria for the past 4 days. Nothing else matters. It's just Terraria. I'm thinking we're going to get to it. I've been thinking like, all right, when the show's over, I really got to go do We'll get there. We'll get there.
I had to tear myself away today. Like, seriously. Oh my God.
I've had to do that the past 3 nights. That's why I'm a little tired today because I'm on about 6 hours of sleep because I was up till 4 a.m. doing nothing. I was just fishing. I was just at a cloud isle just fishing for no reason. For 2 hours while I was watching West Wing, just...
The crates, JP! The crates!
I was just Warcraft, dying it up, just... yeah. Oh, President Bartlett, what are you doing, man? You can't do that. Oh.
Aaron, bathroom! Aaron, bathroom! Oh, hello, JP. Here's your
she
bathroom.
was asleep. I was alone. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even call, If anything, that was me yelling at my cat, Neville, for the bathroom. I was trying to I got to train him. It's a work in progress. Anyways, this was the Ghost of
if you need to borrow my gamer gauntlet, I can send it to you if you want.
Funny. Is that a wrist guard? I would love that for my my left wrist. That'd be great.
It is absolutely a wrist guard.
Dude, I honestly fucked up my wrist bad 2 nights ago. Carrying a box downstairs and I slipped on the stairs and I went to grab the ceiling and all that did was just hyperextend my wrist backwards. So it's all, it's not good.
Let me tell you, man,
I need to get one.
This thing, it really works. I was getting, I played too much Warframe in a bad posture
Yeah.
And Warframe is a constant move game. Like you're constantly moving like super fast, like everywhere.
Yeah.
But like this hand was just like constantly moving, and like I got done, I was like, oh, and I went to the doctor. They're like, yeah, here you go, and they gave me this thing, and I just play it like that now. Like, all right, I don't use it unless it's a game that I sink hundreds of hours into, but
Yeah, I get it.
It for sure helps.
Yeah, I need to order one for sure. In other news, Half-Life Alyx Workshop is open. I definitely want to see what comes from that as time progresses forward. The Half-Life Alyx Workshop is basically, a lot of people were calling it like the Source 2 VR engine type deal. So we could see some really cool stuff come out of that for VR specifically. And, a great base to start with, in my opinion, and I think in everyone else's opinion, to get into other VR stuff. So we'll see how that goes. What else was there? I think that was kind of it. Cohh, you might know something about this, or you might have been tagged on news about this. What is this? Fallout New Vegas and the Fallout 4 engine mod. Have you seen that? Do you know anything about that?
Oh, yeah. There's been a lot of different mods trying to bring like previous Fallout games into a new one. There's even like I think a Fallout 1 or 2 mod in the Bethesda engine that's been worked on, but I don't know too much about them or the state of them. I'm kind of waiting for final releases and stuff, so I don't follow those too closely. But there's more than a few in production.
Gotcha.
Was there a big news drop or from one of the recent ones?
There's a video of Fallout 4 New Vegas that was a minute long. It looks like this. I don't know if this is like a one-to-one recreation of it. I would think so. I have not also played New Vegas, so you're gonna have to tell me here. That person's name, I don't know if you could read that. It was Oliver Swanek. Is that an NPC that you remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like more Fallout to me.
Yeah, I mean, New Vegas was one of the best Fallouts. So to have like a newer one would of course be awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's a really big game. I mean, even New Vegas itself has a lot of issues and pretty well known bugs and stuff like that. So it would be very interesting to see like a port that actually worked well and played well and all that kind of stuff. It'd be a big project, that's for sure.
Yeah. And that's
for sure.
Kind of everything from the last week. That Mafia thing's out. Cohh, you did a sponsor stream for that this morning, right? The Mafia
I did a sponsor stream today for Mafia 2. I mean, what I did today was basically just the Mafia 2 remaster. So if you've played Mafia 2, it's mostly Mafia 2. There's like some more display stuff, and it comes with the DLC and a bunch of clothes and things. It's the definitive edition, if you want a buzzword with it. The only really cool thing about it is that if you own Mafia 2 on Steam, you have it right now in your list for free. So that's by far the coolest part of it.
Nice.
So yeah, if you already own Mafia 2, you don't have to pay a penny for it. You've already got it. And that was probably the coolest aspect of all of it. Mafia 2 is just a great game. It's definitely it's one of the better Mafia games out there. Mafia 1 being a very close second, if not first.
Don't adjust.
And
for some.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Yep. Well, no, not yet. Pause, champ.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay.
There you just smile and nod. It's fine. It's fine. I think he actually froze in the the smiling thumbs up for you.
There we go. Okay,
all right.
Good. Yeah, Mafia 1 arguably has probably one of the best Mafia stories. It's really good. And Mafia 2 is probably a bit of a better game overall mechanically. It's very GTA in a Mafia universe with a pretty damn decent backbone to kind of walk you through it. But yeah, it's a solid game. I loved revisiting it. One of the reasons I took the sponsored stream in the first place, because it's just a fun game. And yeah, best part though, it's free if you already have it, so definitely check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. And then the Crucible stuff came out. I don't even know what. I know that this is an Amazon game, and I know there's a lot of sponsored streams for it right now, but that's it. I have not watched any of them.
Or are people actually streaming it now?
Yeah, I'm watching some streams of it right now.
I'm curious if it's any good.
Yeah, it's a little weird when How many? Mm, I guess the top 4 streams are all hashtag ad. But that's not that weird, I guess. They've done that with a ton of other games. I just don't know what the game actually is. I couldn't tell you. Everyone's sitting at menus right now, so I can't actually see gameplay.
I heard it's super Overwatchy with like its own game modes. But I have no idea how accurate that is, to be honest.
Okay. Huh. Oh, it's not released yet. This is all still like streamer early access, I guess. It's early access for streams right now. Okay. For streamers right now. Doesn't come out till 3 Eastern. Oh, okay. Is it free to play, chat? It's not? You have to buy into it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, chat's saying free to play. Yeah. Yeah, okay. It looks pretty. I'm watching Sacriel's playing right now. Let's just capture this. Let's hop into Sacriel's stream for 5 seconds. This is what it looks like. He's playing Rocket the Raccoon here.
I was just gonna say he's playing as Rocket.
Yeah. I guess.
Not really though, right?
No, absolutely.
I was gonna say he's not licensed. Okay.
Yeah. This reminds me of
Another player?
I don't know. Oh, that was a nice shot. Sacriel's very excited that he killed that guy. Yes, that was another player. Huh. This reminds me of Firefly. Firefly? Was that game? No, that's a show.
Oh, yeah.
Firefall. Yes.
Oh man, I haven't heard that in a while.
It looks a little bit like Firefall.
That like MMO weird game.
Yeah.
Now, hold on real quick. First thing, is that how the character, anybody can tell me, I don't know if you guys know, but is that how the character actually moves? Like, is that the sprint is the hop?
I guess. Yeah, I don't think Sacriel's constantly jumping.
Or is it like a bunny hop, like you go faster if you do that?
I think he just moves that way. Now that you've pointed that out, I can't unsee it, and I hate this character. Oh, here's a replay.
That's exactly the first thing I saw, because I played an indie title by a friend of mine, one Mr. Bean, called Choice Chamber, and it gave the audience the option to choose how you move sometimes. And one of the movement options was pogo, and I fucking hated it. And the audience picked it. My chat picked it every single time, and that's all it was. Like, instead, it was a platformer, but instead of like running and jumping, you just bounce the whole time.
Yeah,
and I hated it.
Yeah,
sounds fun.
Yeah, that hopping stuff is a little bit annoying. So yeah, that's Crucible.
Anyway, all right.
Comes out later today, I guess. This is Sacriel stream. If you've never watched Sacriel, it'd be a great person if you're interested in this game to go watch right now. He's live, twitch.tv/Sacriel.
Yeah.
And he's playing Rocket the Raccoon. I wonder how many heroes there are. I think diversity in the game like this, in terms of heroes that you can choose, is probably the most important thing. And I'm really just adding more words onto the end of the sentence until chat tells me how many heroes there are in it.
The thing that I want to know is
10 heroes. We got it.
Is it like Overwatch in the fashion that someone who's not really good at shooting, can I be a decent healer or a tank like Reinhardt, Mercy, Lucio? Like, that's who I played in Overwatch.
Sure.
I'm wondering if there's like characters like that will make me feel like I'm actually contributing to the fucking team.
I don't know.
Sacriel seems to be,
because that's the last competitive shooter that I played was Overwatch, and I actually enjoyed my time with it. Every other one, I'm just like, I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
I can't be competitive, so I don't want to compete.
Sure. I get that. Field reporter Gassy Mexican saying it's got mobile-like attacks that are AI and controls some points for stuff. And then the whole time real people are running around as a character with different unique abilities. Gotcha. Okay. Thanks.
It's not Mighty, is it?
It's not what?
It's Mighty.
Oh, no, I don't think there's lanes. No, I understood what you're saying. I just had to take a second to think about what Smite actually is. As far as I know, there's no teams. That can't be real, Max. Max, you're fired. We need a new field reporter. We're going to get another streamer in here.
Yeah.
Jeez.
There's no lanes of any kind. Okay.
Jesus.
Someone in my chat said, "So you want to be a field reporter?" Yes, I do. I would love that. If there was a way that I could just be like on the scene, like, here I am on the battlefield, and you give your team, like, I don't know, healing by just calling what's going on.
Yeah. Look at, he's finding some giant tortoises here. That looks pretty cool. All right. Well, that's what's the fucking name of this game? Crucible.
JP, I'd say out of all of us, you're probably most liable to. Are you gonna give it a try?
No, man, I've got stuff to kill in Terraria. Okay, that mine's not gonna get itself, Cohh. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna play the Minecraft Dungeons thing, the like PoE Lite thing, and also mine stuff. I need 3 hands so that I can keep mining while also playing Minecraft. I mean Terraria. Minecraft Dungeons. I had it right the first time. I confused myself. Let's move on. Too much mining. There's too much.
It says on Steam that it releases tonight at midnight.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Go grab it now. Oh yeah, and then I guess this is a great jumping off point since we're kind of done with news, and it won't take that long. Guys, I hit a wall with Persona. I don't know if I'm going
sorry, my bad.
Oh, Zeke.
Noon Pacific. Noon, not midnight. Sorry, noon.
Yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going back to Persona, guys.
Did you shelf it, JP? Are you done?
I don't know. I'm right now. I know that I'm enjoying Terraria, so that's where I've been. That 5th boss on Royale got changed a little bit, and it's breaking my soul. It killed my entire vibe of the game. It's just rough. I think I've spent about 6 hours of attempts on it total on the palace boss, and
wow,
yeah, it went from like the game super easy, like stupid easy, can just go through it all, hit the boss, and then it's just like a giant ramp up to 1,000.
Yeah, I'm super interested in this because the last we spoke, like things were going really, really well.
Yeah.
Is it bad design of the boss? Like what about it is it just being like
it? From what chat was saying, I don't actually have real data on this. They said that it's completely overtuned in terms of the mobs that you're fighting. So if you remember the boss, this is slightly spoilery if you're going to play Persona 5. It's the 5th palace boss. I won't show any footage of it, but I'll explain a little bit of the mechanics. You fight different waves of enemies, and you have to kill all of the enemies at once, or the wave respawns. Or sorry, in 1 round, in 2 rounds, or they'll run away and the wave will respawn. My understanding on Royale is that in the original game, and you guys can help me here, in the original game, it had a finite number of mobs that would spawn in terms of additional lanes. In Royale, it's infinite. You have to kill them all at the same time, or it'll reset forever. And I think that's a change that they put into Royale, and it actually makes it like really ridiculous. It also spikes in 2 turns. Yeah. It also spikes the like mob level up to crazy heights. So much so that a random attack, like if they get 1 attack on the main character, it'll just flat out kill them. And the game's over at that point. And it takes so long to get to that point. Like it since there's a timer in the fight, which is another mechanic that I never really ran into. But it would always be around like 13 or 14 minutes into it. The main character would get 1 shot no matter what I did, because they target specific enemies. Then I would just have to restart. And so I might be able to over level it. I know a lot of people change the difficulty specifically for that boss, because it's such a pain in the ass, and then just change it back to hard afterwards. So I might do that. I know a lot of people also use the DLC personas, which are just like unbelievably overpowered, regardless of what level you get them at. So I might do that. But I kind of just I kind of just want to tough it out and like do it normally. But that's my own stubbornnness coming into play.
You want to beat it a certain way.
Yeah. And that's like the streamer. I mean, we all watched Lyric do that with God of War this past week, right? Like, it's
congrats to him, by the way.
Yeah, congrats Lyric on that. It's a streamer thing where you want to beat it your way, and it's very annoying to do at the moment. So I've been enjoying my time not playing Persona, because I just got so unbelievably frustrated at that this past week. Also, for those that don't know, Lyric was doing the God of War Sigrun fight, which is the final Valkyrie on the non-New Game Plus difficulty. which is one of the
still
harder
insanely
things.
difficult.
Yeah, very difficult.
Yeah.
Not to belittle what he did at all. I have not fought that boss.
It's Give Me God of War difficulty, right? That's the name of it.
I think there's one that New Game Plus introduced, and I don't know what that difficulty was called, even though I played it. Chat saying yes. Yeah. I can't even imagine seeing that fight, watching Lyric fight that fight for 3 or 4 hours myself. I can't imagine what that fight is like on the harder difficulty. It has to be just fucking stupid. Like
I definitely lurked for a period of time and multiple times during his marathon sessions of doing that. And it really is wild how you basically have to do the fight nearly perfectly. Like any single error can lead to a cacophony and a death. Like there's like a single error is basically a giant blinking red light. Like there's no like, oh, I got tagged, it's cool, I'll just keep going. Like every single time you get hit is a chance that the run is going to end.
Yeah.
So it was that's a really tough fight, dude. That's a really tough fight.
It is. Yeah. Did Zeke or Cohh, did you guys ever attempt it or ever? I don't know if you guys beat it. Did you? Not God of War, but beat that fight.
I never got that far.
Okay.
Oh, the 100%ing.
Yeah. Zeke, did you ever attempt it at all?
No, I think I got like three or four Valkyrie fights in there. And since I was playing it offline, like I played it on my own time, it was one of those things where I was like, I beat the game. I'll come back to it at some point, and I never came back to it. It was just a long fight that, I mean, I don't know how much story it adds to the game.
Little. Yeah.
And that's what I assumed. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave the frustrating thing for later. I'm going to enjoy it because I had the momentum, like felt like I was going to finish it that night. So I didn't I think I got like 5 or 6, but also I wasn't playing on the hardest difficulty. I was playing on the next one down.
That's right.
I wasn't playing it on Give Me God of War because it just seemed like it sapped all the fun out of it for me.
Sure.
Trying it. I prefer to play, if I'm going to play the hardest difficulty, I prefer to play the one down before, and then either like I like games that unlock the hardest, or they or come back to them and play the hardest after I get a feel for the game.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like you, where I saw how hard it was, and at the time I was like, I don't want to like ruin what is for me a perfect game. Almost, if any game is perfect, it's as close to as possible. So I'm just gonna leave it alone.
I just say I don't want to ruin this perfect game by playing it.
Well, by fighting something that will be obviously frustrating. It will 100% make me feel a negative thought towards the game. But yes, you're right. That is a silly statement.
Well, there's a lot of games out there that I'm happy that there's side stuff for the people who enjoy it. But my enjoyment of the game doesn't hinge on side stuff a lot of times. Like the Yakuza games, like I played like 20 to 30%. Like at the end of the game, it'll say like 20 to 30% of the side stuff done. And I was happy with that. I'm like, I'm fine. I played what I wanted to play. I maxed out the side shit that I wanted to max out. The rest of it, I don't feel like I missed anything that I really wanted. Same thing with the Valkyries. Like I fought a few of them. Like they're tough fights. But the game itself is so well crafted and so well like paced and like all that shit. Like that would have just thrown a huge pause in a game that I was enjoying thoroughly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well said. I'm the same way with Yakuza, man. I'm the exact same way. I mean, I think I got single digit completion on my Yakuza 3 run. And I had a great time. A lot of fun. Yeah, absolutely. I loved it. I had a great time.
Wait, single digit in what? In the sense of like 100 scale? What are we talking? What does that mean?
Yeah, like 9%. Like, because I mean, there's a huge amount of side content, and people when I was done with Yakuza, I was getting the question over and over, like, "Oh, did you speed run it?"
Really?
Like, no, I didn't speed run Yakuza. I just did the main story. Like, that's what I was interested in doing. I've got 3 more Yakuza games to get to before Like a Dragon later this year. So like I'm planning on just kind of doing the main story in all of them. Maybe do a little more side stuff in 5 or 6. But yeah, like I had a great time in Yakuza 3, and I barely scratched the surface of most of the side stuff.
That seems, having never played any of the games, beating it and only getting 8% seems fucking absurd to me.
Well, To be fair, it's not 8% of the game. It's 8% of the side stuff. So like,
Oh,
I still,
okay. That's a different way of thinking about it. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, while Cohh's frozen here, I think that the side stuff suffers when you're a streamer as well, because it is not like, it's not the main story shit, obviously, because it's side content, but it also it's one of those like pacing things. Like, you do too much side stuff, you have to come back to the main story and go like, oh shit, where were we again?
Yeah.
And you feel like
Not
as
only
a streamer,
that-
you're a storyteller. You want to keep the main story going. Like, at least I do.
Yep. And not only do I completely echo what you just said, but Yakuza 3, a huge portion of the main story felt like side content to me. So it was kind of like, because you're basically like you're running this orphanage in tandem with the main story. And I was super interested in the main story. So every time this other stuff would come up, it was fun and endearing, but like I really wanted to see what was going to happen in the main story. So like the time that I normally would have spent doing side stuff, I was kind of already getting the fill of that during the main game. So
Yeah. Zeke, I forgot that you were going to play this yesterday, but you jumped into a little bit of Final Fantasy VII Remake. We're going to jump straight to the most important decision in the game. What'd you go with here? Because I mean, this changes a lot. I don't know if your chat told you, but this is
I didn't know. No.
pretty big deal here.
I let chat decide. I put it in a Twitch poll, and I let chat decide whether I would ask how much for the flower or say I'm good.
Yeah.
And chat 66% said how much. So that's what I picked.
Wow.
I picked the first choice.
Okay.
I don't know like what that means or like later on.
All right.
My instincts was just because it's funnier to go like, I'm good. I don't need flour.
Yeah.
I'm all good. I'm all flowered up here. I'm fine.
That is a really good looking flower, though. I got it like that. Seeing it up close here for an extended amount of time. It's a well rendered flower. Gotta say.
Yeah, this is while the poll was running.
I saw something also which was kind of interesting. I think Max retweeted it. Apparently, the image files in the Final Fantasy VII stuff are super high res for the background images that were pixelated, and it was an engine issue that they weren't rendering properly.
Huh.
Yeah.
I wonder if that gets
Kind of
fixed then in a later patch or something, or maybe the PC version or something like that. That's weird.
What were you talking? What were you referring to?
There's portions in the game where you see like this really large background picture, which is essentially like if you're standing, imagine you're standing on the top of the mountain and you're looking down over a valley. It's that kind of stuff.
Right.
And unfortunately, in the game, they are uncharacteristically low res. Like you can actually see the pixels pretty clearly on these images. And everyone was like, what's going on here? Why the low quality? Well, it turns out they weren't low quality. They were just not properly rendering in the engine. So,
yeah. I made a few jokes about that during my play. It's like when you go to your first like lodging, your room, to rest and whatever. I was just commenting on how like this place is shitty. Like the fucking pipes leak. They didn't even render the door. Like this place sucks.
Yeah.
Like, how much am I paying to stay here? If I pay good Gil to stay at a place, I expect the doors to be rendered.
True.
Yeah. So that was very strange for something that like of this caliber or this like money backing and stuff like that. It wouldn't see the non-rendered doors like or stuff that just doesn't render out. Like I don't
know.
Understand how they could miss that, or it was just like something that was too embedded. They were like, if we try to change this, it's gonna fuck up a lot of different shit. Like I understand that, like a Jenga, like everything is on these two blocks that are like this, but everything above it is like super complex. But if you fuck with these two things, everything falls down.
Yeah, who knows?
A lot of times it can also be like after the Q&A and they're doing the fixing stuff. It may be that they just made a little fix, not thinking it would impact anything else, and then one of those final little changes they did like caused a few things not to render properly. But it's like at that point it's too late. You've already made a gold and that's what one of the actually things that was in the same tweet Max said is I think a lot of people are hoping for a patch for those. So
maybe
hopefully that'd be good.
I hope so. Yeah. Well, regardless of all that, Zeke, what are your thoughts so far? Are you liking it? Are you into it?
Um, Here's the thing with having because this is one of the rare times where I left the back seat open. I was like, back seat away. Tell me like everything. Tell me where the secret shit is. Like, I would like to avoid like plot spoilers, but
Sure.
if you want to like instruct me on how to do shit, please help me. I didn't realize how like me figuring it out on my own is about as useful as me asking contradictory chat people how to do shit. Because it's like, nah, you gotta do this. Nah, this is this. And I'm just like, who do I listen to? What the fuck? So like I progressed about the same.
That's happened with Terraria for me as well, where chat actually doesn't give a concise answer, and it's breaking my understanding of the world, Zeke. I don't know what is real anymore. Because chat doesn't have an answer. What does it mean, Zeke?
I'm like,
also,
okay, so I do this, I switch characters, and then I do this. They're like, yes. And then one person's like, absolutely not. That is the stupidest thing you can do. I'm like, well, that person's really loud and adamant. So are they right?
Yeah. What were you going to say, Cohh?
Well, I was going to say also, just to be fair, Final Fantasy VII and Terraria, in this case, are both games where you can really go a lot of different ways at accomplishing the same thing. So it becomes not so much like it's one thing to backseat game in games where there's like obviously superior ways to handle it all the time.
Sure.
But in both Terraria and Final Fantasy VII, like I backseat gaming is in my blood. That's how I stream. And for both of these games, I also had a very rough time in terms of, like, especially with Terraria, it's like, okay, I just got to hard mode. What should I do first, chat?
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like literally a wall of 40 different things. And you just kind of have to like look at a few things and just be like, okay, even if this isn't the best answer, like, I'm going with this. We're doing this now. And now I'm like farming goose for a yo-yo and I don't even know if it's good. And this is my life now. But yeah, it can be rough. It can be very rough. And especially Zeke, since you normally don't do backseat gaming, like this is a very girthy title to be kind of doing that first on, for sure. There's so many different ways you can play Final Fantasy VII Remake.
You know what it reminds me of?
Yeah.
It reminds me of trying to install a difficult CD-ROM game or fix something in a CD-ROM. And then you got like 100 experts in chat all trying to tell you to do different things. It's like, for some reason, like it's less frustrating doing the CD-ROM thing than it is playing the game, because the CD-ROM thing requires no like skill. It requires like just paying attention and putting it in
like
exactly as people say.
It's gonna work.
Exactly. It's ones and zeros. Yeah. And this one's like, I mean, yeah, you could use the braver or the triple slash, but one is for this, and maybe you feel better doing this. I'm like,
sure.
Okay. But I mean, okay, as far as the game goes, game it's beautiful. Like 10 out of 10 looks, except for the rendering, of course. 10 out of 10 music, it is awesome. Like, I use the word awesome like it's supposed to be, like the definition. It fills me with awe. The music is just
awe-inspiring, yeah.
Like choruses and orchestras and it's great. It's beautiful. The combat system, it definitely takes a little getting used to, and I feel like if I didn't listen to chat from the start, I might be having a better time with it, because it is a lot about like what feels. I found it's like what feels most comfortable to you. Because people were like, "Oh, you'll be switching characters like all the time during battles and stuff." And what it feels like I want to do is stay with Cloud 90% of the time, and then do their special thing, and then switch back to Cloud again. You know, if I'm in a group battle situation, that's what it feels like I should be doing, or is that what my instincts are telling me? But the chat and sort of the game is telling me like, you're gonna want to like even out your times with everybody to make it the most optimal. I'm like, man, I don't think I have to though.
The game will let you know when you should start doing that, if that makes sense.
Well,
Not
And
not with
also,
like giant on-screen things, but just the gameplay will start making sense when you get a third-party member, I think.
Right.
for sure.
Maybe that's
And
what it is too.
one important thing to mention with this game that I learned way too late in the game, and if you get told this early, it can really kind of help figure this whole system out. The game almost always favors whatever character you're playing to focus
Right,
attacks on.
aggro.
So yes, exactly. So it's almost like you're not only picking what character you're playing, but you're picking what character is tanking. So sometimes it's super advantageous to just do exactly what you're doing, because you can utilize that system and kind of like have your healer not be constantly being attacked, have your reser, available at all times. But other times it's going to be like switching that main is aggro control that can be the difference between winning and losing fights. So just a little tip, a little more backseat gaming, because I'm sure you need it. But you can, what you're doing like very much is preferential. So I mean, play, especially until you start having issues, just play it however you want. Like play whatever's most fun for you. Because most of the game is sleeper. To be blunt, most of the game is sleeper. Like most of the game, you can just sleep through the fight. But then you'll start getting to like JP said with Persona. All of a sudden, you'll get to a fight where it's just like, are we playing the same game?
There's some pretty big ramp ups. Yeah,
So,
that's true.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'm glad you're playing it though. It is worthy of of such. I think as a game. Very interested to hear your thoughts. Where did you end yesterday? Let's see where you got to. Oh, okay. You're right
I played darts.
Gotcha.
And I got that's my perfect score.
There you go.
Took me, like, people were amazed, honestly. They were like, it took me 4 tries to get the perfect score. They're like, what in the fuck? It took me like 30 minutes or whatever. And I'm like, maybe it just made sense to me, Like like Good Will Hunting is like, Beethoven could look at a piano and he just understood it. He could just play.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, I looked at that dart game and I went, yeah, because this taught me well.
Dude, Persona actually taught me how to play. I don't know if this is actually how you play darts, but the Persona dart minigame, which maybe wasn't in the base one, actually taught me how to play darts. Funny enough, I never knew. It's like a full dart system with there's rules and everything. I just thought you threw darts and tried to hit the bullseye. I didn't.
Dude, if we ever if this quarantine shit ever goes away, I want to go play darts with you and teach you like dart games. It's so much fun. Darts is a fun game.
Yeah.
Any game that you can just get obliterated, listen to loud music, and still play the game. That's a great game to me. Like, there's very few games like bowling, darts that drinking is encouraged.
I feel like darts mixed with drinking is a recipe for someone getting stabbed, right? Like someone being in the way of darts. And that just is I have a little bit of fear of that.
Nah, man. Nah.
No?
Okay. No, you play plastic tips, man.
I mean,
very rarely do you do steel tips anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, most dart bars or bars that have dartboards, they're automated plastic tip darts.
Chad is very upset about not steel tip. I don't know.
Steel tips are for pros, man. Most dart leagues out there are plastic tip dart leagues. I guarantee you, there was tons of them in Billings, Montana, where I live.
Maybe that was a result, though, because too many people were getting stabbed in Billings, Montana, and the rest of the world used a steel tip.
Maybe, yeah. Montana, the people wear they're the helmet wearers while they're walking, kind of a place.
Sure. I mean, I don't know if you go that far, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You never know.
Well, Zeke, even in Japan, the dart places I went to, or the bars I went to,
they're plastic.
Their dartboards were all plastic tip.
Huh. Okay.
Yep.
Are you gonna finish Final Fantasy 7 on stream? Is it got your hooks?
I was just gonna mention that. I think it's going to be the offline game that I play, because I can play it for hours and it's a good mind. I can put my mind to do it like I did for God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a good story game that I can just veg out and play every once in a while. Yeah. I don't think I'll be playing it on stream for a couple of reasons, or more on stream for a couple of reasons. One, it's a lengthy game, and only certain games really do well for me if they're really long. Like Persona does pretty good. but most other lengthy games, like if I push it, like it just bad business decision. And two, because of the back seating thing, I get tense. I tense up when people are like, "Nah, you're doing it wrong." I'm like, I feel like dad is telling me how to throw a pitch. Like, what? Like,
Yeah.
Nah, son,
I get that.
gotta put your fingers on the seam or else it's not gonna go fast. Like, oh god, stop.
I think I got a little bit of that. I know exactly what you're saying. I think I got a little bit of that with Persona, and now playing Terraria, where like I don't give a fuck about being backseated. It's a really nice change.
Yeah.
The funny aspect of that though is I think with 90 plus hours of Persona on the channel, the chat's known not to backseat. So like, there's a couple people that'll start like to slowly type, and I'm like, come on, it's okay, come on. Just type. Just let me know. Just tell me what ore I should go for. And then there's other people like, nah, nope. You're trying to get me banned. Stop it. I'm not gonna backseat you at all. So yeah, it's been an interesting way to, I guess, change the theme of chat, going from like no backseating whatsoever to like say whatever you want. You can backseat the fuck out of that. Also, Zeke, I just randomly looked over and saw this. What the fuck?
Oh man, and
that's actually so well done. Holy shit, that's so good.
Let's give credit where credit's due then.
I'm not into that.
Because it's a known thing in my channel. Like if you want to make Be Right Back screens, I will put them up and it'll be like up in a slideshow. That one was made by there's Axis Fuzz made me a couple of them. They're very good. Mr. Scott Evans, of course. C. Strindgard made the cloud one with the face that you said would look really good.
Mm-hmm.
People make Be Right Back screens, and they went fucking ham for Final Fantasy VII, and I just feel bad because I'm like, I played it for one stream, so I'm glad you're showing these to an audience because now I don't have to feel so bad that more people didn't see their awesome Be Right Back screens.
They're so good. They're very good. Very well done.
Yeah, they're very, very good.
Yeah.
I should just have it like I don't know, an album, like a Google album or something that people can just look at all of the Be Right Back screens people have made for me over the years, because it's awesome. It's astounding how many times my face has been superimposed on the box art of a game.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Probably talk Terraria. Get Cohh's thoughts on Yakuza 3. Yakuza 3.
Yakuza.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't want... yes. And then Indie Sunday, Z? You got one? Did we do one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. And I don't know. We'll see. Egg is broken, heart is too.